It's been less than a century since foreigners stumbled upon this Pacific island paradise. We've just entered what they call a fighting zone. Basically a local war zone. The last two villages we've gone through had fights last year. We're now in an area where the fight is still carrying on. My name is Sam.
Oh, my name is Sam.
There's still no functioning state in the highlands of Papua New Guinea. Stone Age ritual violence has become a nightmare, fueled by drugs and guns. Will you guard the car? Every village in Papua New Guinea has a band of warriors. This lot had attacked their neighbours the night before I turned up. Is it okay? They're happy to talk to us? Have there been any casualties on each side?
Both
sides?
5 on this side.
This side? And that side?
4 on that side.
4 on that side. Now this group here only have homemade shotguns and things like that. They're saying the other side has got M16s, AK-47s. These men, as we can see, have got axes, they've got machetes, they've got bows and arrows, but that's no match for people with M16s who then come in and they're saying we don't want to lose any more lives from our community. Larson's saying that the government isn't doing enough, in fact it's not doing anything, and that what it should do is set up an organisation that can sweep up all the guns and then stop it coming into the province. Suddenly, scouts reported there was a danger of a counterattack. What are they saying?
They should they're still they might attack any time. So just in case one of us might get wounded.
Right.
And
okay. So they're saying we shouldn't stay long.
Yeah, we shouldn't stay longer.
Quite anxious to get out of here now. We didn't know that we were driving straight up the middle of what is a front line in a tribal war. It's been going on 5 months and already claimed 9 lives and numerous wounded. The Stone Age tradition of fighting with bows and arrows had strict rules and low body counts. Modern weapons have brought massive destruction. This used to be a petrol station serving a community along with the stores that were alongside it, a community of hundreds and hundreds of people. Now for several miles in every direction the land is completely abandoned. We're not out in the middle of the jungle, but the outskirts of Warbeg, the capital of Enga province. The local clinic sees most of the casualties. Is it straight on, isn't it? Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Kiley. Hello. Hello, Sam.
This is the guy who was with a big gun wound.
This guy, gunshot wound.
He's went to DCY and then...
when was he brought in?
About a week ago.
About a week ago. From fighting down the valley?
Yeah, along the road. So.
Along the road that we came from Mount Hagen to here.
So...
and do you see a lot of victims of violence?
Oh yeah. As I said, endemic.
It's endemic. How long has your tribe been fighting against the people that shot you?
4 years.
Almost 4 years of fighting.
Yeah.
Kevin here was wounded in the abdomen. He was shot by one of his tribal enemies during a brief ceasefire. He was ambushed. he's here with his friend. His friend is reluctant to admit that what will happen next, according to everybody else around here, including other people in the ward, is that there will be revenge attacks.
This potentially rich province has been ravaged by the cycle of killings and revenge. I met with Bilalo, a tribal elder. His brother was murdered in fighting with his neighbours, a rival clan.
So this is where you buried Leo?
Yes.
The last of the 54 people that you lost in the fighting, is that right?
Yes.
Are you strong enough to take revenge, your tribe?
Yeah, we got enough, firearms and everything. We are fully equipped.
There was no ceasefire here. The two sides were just taking a breather. Bill agreed to introduce me to some of his warriors. This is a high-powered automatic rifle.
How long have you had it? 4 years, 5 years. Did you have to spend a lot of money on it? Was it expensive? 30,000 kina, £600. How much is a bullet?
25 for one.
25 for one. It's a fiver. It's £5 a shot. Might explain why they've only got 2.
I wondered if their face paint was entirely traditional.
And the movie was in
We usually watch Rambo movies and all this,
So you learn how to do they've learned to do the camouflage from watching the Rambo movies, and in fact the big fighter in each community is called Rambo. That's become a title, isn't it? Who is your Rambo? Is that you? That's Peter. So Peter is the village Rambo, and that is not a nickname, that's a title. Peter, has the number of people getting killed and the level of violence and the rules of fighting, have they changed since guns came? Peter's saying that in the old days when they fought there would be a restricted area, a fighting zone if you like, and that when there were house burnings and that kind of thing they were very specific about whose house got burnt, and they didn't kill civilians, and they kept the casualty levels low. Now that the guns have come, when there are attacks, people go berserk. They've got high-powered guns and they just hose down whole villages, torch every house they can get to, and shoot women and children. So the whole traditional structure of solving problems through small-scale traditional fighting with traditional, mostly non-lethal weapons has been turned on its head.
Yeah, that's down there. No. It's down there. That's where yesterday we...
That evening, I met with Bill's mother. Her face paint was traditional, a sign of mourning. His father's pain was silent.
Just in case anybody thought that there was no grief attached to the killings that go on here, Patricia, as a traditional expression of her grief, cut off the last top 2 joints of her left hand, her index finger and the one next to it, and she carries them around with her in a little pot, just as a sign of the very deep pain that she feels for the loss of Leo. Ooh, it's hard.
I popped into the local cinema for a shoot-'em-up matinee. The fighting, killing and house burning has pushed right to the edge of Warburg City. I wondered what the authorities were doing to stop it.
Hello there. Sam, I'm Sam. Sam Kiley.